Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Nasdaq Spotlight live from the Microsoft Ignite conference here in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Anna Gonzalez, and we are continuing our conversations today with Vince Arneja. He's a Chief Product Officer at Five9. Vince, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about Five9 and what you do.
So Five9 is in the cloud infrastructure business. We've been in that space for about 6-7 years. And really our goal is to help system administrators, specifically Microsoft system administrators, be more efficient at their jobs and just succeed. For years we helped them manage Hyper-V, and recently we announced support for Azure. So really a system administrator who is dealing with, regardless of private, public, hybrid Microsoft cloud infrastructure, can leverage our platform to perform their day-to-day tasks, whether it be management, monitoring, backup, security, all of that's included within our platform, and that's really what we do for the Microsoft audience.
And so tell me about a project that you guys are working on now that you're really excited by.
Sure. So we have customers spanning the globe and spanning verticals and spanning different sizes. Recently, because of the hybrid announcements and all the hybrid movement taking place, we have a lot of customers that are working with us to manage both their on-prem infrastructure and their Azure cloud infrastructure. And so that ranges from big restaurants to home builders to different financial companies. And so we're working with a lot of these companies to make their decentralized environments easier to manage, easier to secure. Right now, a lot of these companies, and a couple come to mind, they're looking at 6 to 7 different products to accomplish what our product helps them do with one interface. And so that's pretty exciting when you're able to make a system administrator's life that easy to where they don't have to go to console to do their job, whether it be for management, monitoring, or other things. And so that is, when working with a lot of the folks here and a lot of the customers that we deal with, that's exciting because you're making their job easier, making them more productive. At the end of the day, you're saving them money, and that's really what
software should be about. Right. So with when you're talking with all your different customers, and cloud is obviously still in its infancy.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the trends that you're hearing, and how have you seen the industry evolve in just the last few years?
Yeah, so we've seen, we have about 1,000 plus customers over the years, and we've seen them slowly and tepidly move towards the cloud. A lot of our smaller customers are inching over to the cloud by basically doing things like replication or backup to Azure, and that's it. They're not really doing anything else with production workloads. But then we have bigger customers that are basically embracing the cloud full bore, and they're managing an infrastructure that is truly hybrid. Workloads in on-prem, workloads in Azure, and so those customers are, really taking advantage of the scalability of the cloud and factoring in the cost savings, things of that nature. So we're seeing customers of all sizes embracing the cloud, and it's exciting because they're getting efficiencies for their operations. They're able to use a platform like ours to succeed on a day-to-day basis, and at the end of the day, they're being more productive, they're saving money, and so that's really what it's all about these days with the cloud.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you look out, let's say even 2 to 5 years, we won't even go to 10.
Yeah, because it changes too fast, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What most excites you about what's coming up, either whether for your company or the industry at large?
Sure. I mean, the rapid pace at which things get done and announced these days, it's mind-boggling. If you're in tech and you can't keep up, you're going to be behind in a matter of days. And so what's exciting is that Microsoft's made a bunch of announcements yesterday. A lot of those have a ripple effect on vendors and how we have to sort of react, in some cases, advance our capabilities. And so it's exciting that you are always on the move, right? You're always doing things to advance technology, which is, of course, advancing productivity. And so that, to me, is the most exciting part about being in tech. I've been in tech a long time, and it's really cool. And cloud has just literally revolutionized things. It's, to your point, it's very early. It's infancy as far as adoption goes. But we're seeing a lot more customer interest, a lot more understanding of the cloud, right? You got to understand something before you can actually implement it.
Right.
And we're seeing even the smaller customers start to grasp it now and start to figure out specific use cases that they can utilize for the cloud, and now become cloud enabled. And then eventually, they'll embrace it further and expand their use cases and take it even further.
Right, and build from there.
Build from there, yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit, go into a lightning round.
Okay.
Are we ready?
All right, yes. It's just the hot seat right here, yeah.
Yes, very difficult questions. What app can you not live without?
Wow. From a work perspective, it's got to be Microsoft Teams. Teams and the communication across our entire company is just critical. And being able to instantly communicate with somebody is critical. As far as home life, I mean, it's got to be one of those smart home apps, right? I mean, I'm a big smart home guy, so whether it be my AC unit or whether it be my sprinkler system, those are critical apps. But yeah, there's a lot of apps out there. They're all great. They're all great.
I love we're just starting to explore the smart home apps.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
You can literally turn off your sprinkler system at the Ignite conference because it's raining at home.
Right.
I mean, it's just tremendous. Yeah.
So what would you say is the coolest piece of technology you have in your office?
In our office? Well, we have a room where we do a lot of recordings and things, and so that's pretty cool from our perspective. I think that's probably the coolest thing we have as far as
recordings as in like podcasts?
Yeah,
or?
podcasts and
great.
webinars and things of that nature.
And those are all accessible on your website? Or?
Yeah, we actually like to communicate features and things of that nature to our system administrators because they want to see the latest advancements and how it's going to help them. And so we try to do what we call a Demo Friday, which basically enables customers to see, prospects and customers to see what the newest features are, and we get them engaged with the process.
Great. So what do you like to do when you're not working? Is there such a thing?
Yeah. Tech these days, it's hard not to work, right? Because you're always connected.
Yeah.
Literally, your office is in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's crazy to say, but it's true. I like to coach my kids. I'm a coach dad, if you will, on weekends. And so I have baseball, softball with my daughter, so that's always fun.
Yeah.
And even within that, there's a reliance on an app because you keep score on an app these days.
Right.
It's just crazy, but yeah, that's what I typically try to do on weekends.
So as we wrap up, and for people who are watching and thinking, I want to be in Vince's shoes one day, what advice do you have for them?
That's a good question. I would say learn. Just learn, and learn, because we just talked about it. Advancements in technology are ridiculous. And if you're not on top of things and you're not reading the latest articles, or you're not following the latest trends, I mean, you could literally fall behind in a few months as to what's going on in the industry. And so I would say read and learn, watch, obviously, conference outputs from conferences like this. Tremendous conference here with so much knowledge being shared, not only by the vendors, but Microsoft and the partners and prospective customers. And so the key is to learn. If you're going to be static in your learning process, your career is going to be pretty much dead-ended pretty soon. So I would say learn. Be a sponge and learn.
Do you have any favorite sources that you like to go to keep up with the industry?
So there's a lot of them. I mean, ZDNet, CNET, all those kinds of places. I usually set up a lot of Google alerts for certain keywords that pop up in my inbox, so I don't have to go looking for them all the time. So cloud infrastructure is a space we're in. So that's, for example, one of the keywords, and you'll see all kinds of announcements from different vendors, obviously Microsoft included, for things that are going on with cloud infrastructure. And so that's one way I typically have relevant information pushed out to me instead of me having to go pull it all the time. But you got to learn. You got to be aware of what's going on, because you're going to strike up a conversation with, a prospect or a customer, and they're going to ask you, hey, what do you think about this? You really can't be clueless.
Right.
You got to have some sense of what has transpired to be able to have an articulate discussion with that influencer, and to then engage with them, establish credibility, so on and so forth. So you got to learn.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's another productivity hack as well. Use Google Alerts for keywords you're trying to learn about.
Absolutely. So, critical.
Thank you for sharing that and so much more with us today.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
And thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more conversations coming right here from the Microsoft Ignite Conference.